Welcome to Lions Live 365. I'm your host, Michael Ayers, and today we are doing Mock Draft 2.0. I have been watching free agency like a hawk. I've seen the signings. There's not much impressive, except we did get Cade Mays, which just kind of helps with everything. But I wanted to do another mock draft, and I was waiting until I saw all the free agency moves. And the reality is, the speed that we're moving is so slow. I'm doubting that we are going to do much of anything left in the free agency. Hopefully, I'm wrong, and this mock draft is completely irrelevant in a day or two. But let's take a look. We're going to do mock draft 2.0. Here's the scenario. I am not going to draft anyone from mock 1.0. I cannot trade down in round one. That is the easiest cop out thing that you can do. The assumption that you can always trade down, as much as I would love that to happen, that is not always the case. I had a 3 trade limit, and I must draft people that fit the scheme at least in the first 3 to 4 rounds. A lot of times, especially with the Detroit Lions and Brad Holmes, we draft people that fit our scheme almost exclusively in the very beginning, right? But they get a lot more flexible in the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh round. At that point, they're just trying to pick talent, right? So let's take a look at the picks. We have a ton of picks. We got a first, a second, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven. I'm starting to think that they are really trying to go all in on a draft, because how they are basically sitting out of free agency is kind of astounding. Hard to watch. With that being said, we're going to go right on into pick number one. Number one, I got Monroe Freeling. He's 21 years old, 6'7", 315. He is a draft riser. This is somebody that was, scheduled for like the late first, back of the second. But once people really got a hold of his tape, saw his technique, especially in pass blocking, you see that he is a natural left tackle. And if we are able to draft him at left tackle, it actually benefits us in two ways. We get to keep Penei Sewell at right, and then with Monroe Freeling, he may not be the greatest run blocker, but he can run block. It's the pass pro that I am happy about, the length that I'm happy about, the athlete that we are getting, right? With that being said, there are a lot of people that would just sit there. That the first comment that I'm gonna get on this video is Monroe Freeling's not gonna be there at 17. First and foremost, this guy is a draft riser as is. There are a ton of tackles that I would be comfortable with picking in the first round at pick 17. There's at least 6 tackles that I like in this draft, and I am cool. If it wasn't Monroe Freeling, it would have been Caleb Lomo. If it wasn't him, I'd take Fano. It really doesn't matter to me at this point in time. When you look at pick 17, there's going to be a quality tackle for us. I would love for us to get a free agent tackle so that we could be more flexible. But with the gaping hole that we have at left tackle, we have to pick Monroe Freeling, right? Now, when I say great athlete, I don't want to kind of poo-poo how great his athleticism is, right? Monroe Freeling is a very rare athlete. He has great arm length. He has good hand size. He's a decent weight, right? The height is there, 6'7". He's taller. When you look at every phase of athleticism, the man's elite. He's giving you a sub 5 second 40. He has a great 10-yard split. The guy is just good, right? He's good. Now, does he have a little bit more flaws and people will let you know? Yes. He has some balance issues here and there. He's not the best run blocker. He's not dominating in the run game. But for my left tackle, I really want somebody that can consistently win in pass situations, and Monroe Freeling is that. Moving forward to pick number two, I have Gabe Yakis. He is 21 years old, 6'4", 260, so he fits the edge, the type of edge that we love in Detroit. Strong guy, powerful hands. I mean, power rusher. He is battling. He actually has he has some experience in wrestling as well. He's a wrestler, so you see his how he battles when he's rushing. And at the end of the day, he has 27 sacks in his college career. Something that to me is really a quality thing. So a lot of times when a guy can turn his hand usage and can consistently get to the quarterback, that usually translates. So first thing we did was we addressed tackle. Second, we addressed uh, the defensive end, and then as far as the number 4 pick, because I could not trade for nothing. I was trying to trade down, trade up. I mean, the rules said I couldn't make the same trades and things of that nature, but I wanted to trade, and they were not going. I was using, I believe the mock draft system was PFSN, something like that. And it just wasn't. They didn't like none of my trades. No bunch of fourths and fifths to get in the third round. So I had to stay in the fourth, and Bud Clark fell to me, which was like really. I was like, whoa, okay. He's 6'1", 188. He can play anywhere in the secondary. He is a violent hitter. He's not a guy that's like Cam Chancellor or anything like that. He's not killing dudes, but at the end of the day, if he sees you and he can line it up, he will hit you and he will hit you hard. He is a ball magnet. He has 15 picks in his career. And the only problem that I have with him is that he is a 6-year senior. Outside of that, I love his game. I love his speed. I love his size and length. I'm a fan, right? I wish he put on a couple more pounds, but if you use him in a safety role, he's comfortable in the nickel. He can play off. It's just one of those situations where I like everything that he does. He's just been a quality player, right? Now, when you look at his RAS, right, is like I said, it's up there. When you 9 out of 10 as far as athletes, you're doing your job, right? But 40-yard dash, running a 4.4 at safety, that I can live with that, right? The only thing that he's not like crazy is his size. Okay, I can live with that. You almost 6'1", you 6 foot and 7/8. I can live with that. I really do like his game. I like how he is in coverage, and he's our style of player. So I'm a fan of Bud Clark. Now, in the second round, the second pick in the fourth round, with our David Montgomery pick, I ended up picking Caleb Elams or and he's 6'2", 234. He is a plus athlete. He's good in the run game. He played well at the Senior Bowl. That's where I noticed him. He's really good in like man and zone coverage. And it's just a guy like with our need at linebacker is not as big as it was. Um, but at the end of the day, as much as I love Michael Rodriguez, I like Trevor Nawaz whenever he's in the game. Trevor Nawaz is more like a defensive end to me. He looks like somebody that belongs in a 3-4 or something. I just don't like him in any level of space. I feel very comfortable with Caleb Elams or in space. I like how he guards running backs. He had a really good Senior Bowl week. Um, and I'm really a fan. The just surprise of the draft for me is who I pick next though, right? I was looking like, hold up, is Romello Heights sitting here? Oh, I'm picking him. I know he's an old man. 25 years old. He is a great pass rusher in my opinion. I love his hand usage. He had that initial burst that he has. He has 4.6 speed. Um, he would fit well in that James Houston, Al Qadim Muhammad role, in which it's just like, hey, the only time you're really gonna be on the field is when you're rushing the passer. I'm probably gonna be begging to get him on the field more often than not. But at 6'3", 239 pounds, this guy can get to the quarterback. You gotta love a guy that can just get to the quarterback. Him and David Bailey played in a ridiculously elite level last year in college football, and the fact that he was there in the fifth round, which is a round that we tend to just be like, okay, If he doesn't fit the big body defensive end scheme, we'll bend in the fifth, sixth, seventh round. These are the type of rounds we would end up picking our smaller players, our Malcolm Rodriguez's, our James Houston's. And so I was like, all right, if it's how we usually do things, this guy is a dog, so we had to go pick him, right? With that being said, I was actually even a little bit more surprised uh, to find out that this tight end was also still available in the draft. I could not believe that Sam Roush was still there. I was looking and I'm sitting there like, okay, I didn't want to get a tight end early. I felt like we already have a starting tight end in Sam Laporta. Looks like his back injury, everything looks pretty good. He looked pretty good at the end of the year, talking about his rehab, things of that nature. So I wasn't treating tight end like it just had to be addressed. With that being said, when I got into the fifth round, I said, let me check around. And once I saw Sam Roush, I was like, oh, we hit the jackpot. This dude is 6'6" and some change, like 6'6", 7'8". He's basically 6'7". He's 267 pounds. He has a 9.99 RAS score. He has speed. He has strength in his game. He is a complete tight end. I love Sam Roush. Is He's not like some jump ball artist or anything like that, but do you need to be? And I like his yards after catch. As soon as he catches the ball, you start realizing that, hey, that dude is pretty big. And that's just how I feel on it. With that being said, not too much else to say about a talent like Sam. We're gonna move on to the round 6 picks. We have Jaden Kennedy. I took a chance. He's 5'11", 185. I'm not sure about his speed. It looks like he's fast, but I can't really like define whether he's really fast or not. A 40, a combine workout, something like along those lines would have really helped out, but we just didn't get it. Um, he bounced back after ACL, but he is a football player, man. His coverage ability is outstanding. He graded out very well with PFF and close to 90s, like he's in mid 80s. And when it came to coverage, the guy just makes plays. If you haven't looked at his highlight film, just go ahead and look at his highlight film. He stays in phase. He doesn't panic. He's a little small, so he's going to be mainly a nickel corner, but that's what we need. Um, and it's just like he's not scared to tackle, but I don't want him in a bunch of very physical situations because at the end of the day, he could be hurt. Um, with that being said, moving on, we are going to the next pick that we have in the round at 213. We have Jeremiah Wright, 6'5", 331. He's a complete bully, can play left guard, right guard. He dominated quality competition at Auburn. I am a fan. We don't even really need this pick, to be honest with you. It's just somebody that looks like he can make the team. And he can push Juice Scruggs and Miles Frazier and Christian Mahogany for their particular roster spots. There's nothing wrong with a little competition, and I'm just a fan. In the 6th round, you got to take that. Got to. Now, moving on to the last pick of the draft, we have Owen Heineke. I got another linebacker. I really like him because he competes, man. He goes out to the Senior Bowl. He competes at the Senior Bowl, competes on every drill. He competes when he goes to the combine. He does every drill. It's something that I really, really liked about him. He has limited experience. He doesn't have a ton of snaps under his belt. He hasn't been starter for a long time. He tried to get an extra year, but something about like lacrosse counted as a year of his eligibility. So he kind of got robbed compared to some of these other guys that got 6, 7, 8 years in college. But to me, man, like it's something of a guy where I like his mindset, and it's not like he was out there playing with scrubs. He's in Oklahoma. With that being said, I took a flyer, right? Once you get this late in the draft, you just start trying to see if you can pick guys with high upside that can fit the team, that can make things happen. I really like how he played at the Senior Bowl. Um, but at the end of the day, that is it. That's the whole draft. We are going to take a look at the draft. Let me pull this up. All right, here's the total draft. Want you to grade it for me. Let me know if there's a particular player that you didn't like. I was surprised by some of the players being where they were. A lot of the players that did fall were older, which is kind of in line with how a lot of teams draft, but you never know if that's going to change or not. Um, I feel as though I would give myself a B plus for this one. We handled tackle, we got edge, we got safety, got linebacker. Too many linebackers, in my opinion. The only thing I really wish I could have done was get better outside corners, but a lot of them went in the second and third round, and it was just kind of like when I got to the fourth, it was just like, man, none of these corners are who I want. But I did get Kennedy. We dressed slot. We got somebody that can play free safety. I got an extra guard, even though I don't feel like we need them. I feel like I got a lot of value. With that being said, this one I used, I believe it's PFSN as the mock draft simulator. I realized moving from site to site, it's almost like completely different ranking system, and I think that's good. I don't want to be able to predict who's going to be available in each round. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to try to do the exact same thing I did this time as far as not picking players that I've picked before. Um, I might, take away the trade down rule, take that out of there. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna try to keep it fresh for y'all. Um, as far as the next simulator I'm going to be using the mock machine, mock machine. That's going to be next. And that's going to be for mock draft 3.0. Hopefully we add some more pieces before we get to 3.0. But it should be coming at some point, right? I'm really looking forward to doing that one probably in a month or so. If we make any major move, I might do one right after. But that's all, folks. And whether it's draft day, game day, or any day in between, it's Lions Live 365. Please like and subscribe. Peace out.